What if your brain was a roller coaster, but no one else could see the tracks? Imagine one day having unstoppable energy, racing thoughts, and grand ideas that feel bigger than life. And then, days or weeks later, finding yourself unable to get out of bed, feeling hopeless and questioning your worth. For millions of people worldwide, this isn't imagination, it's reality. This is bipolar disorder. But here's the problem. Most people don't understand what that really means. They hear the word bipolar and think it just means mood swings. They think it's just being happy one moment and sad the next. That stereotype is wrong and dangerous. Bipolar disorder comes in different forms, each with its own patterns, challenges, and risks. Today, we're going to explore the real differences between Bipolar I, Bipolar II, and Cyclothymic disorder. By the end, you'll understand what sets them apart, how they're diagnosed, and how they affect real people in daily life. This is not just a medical lecture. This is a journey into understanding one of the most complex and important mental health conditions of our time. Chapter 1. The Big Picture of Bipolar. Bipolar disorder is classified as a mood disorder. That means it primarily affects how the brain regulates energy, motivation, activity, and emotions. What makes bipolar disorder unique is that it includes two extremes, the highs, called mania or hypomania, and the lows, called depression. In mania or hypomania, energy surges. People may talk quickly, need little sleep, take risks, or feel invincible. In depression, energy plummets. People may feel hopeless, lose interest in activities, and even struggle with thoughts of suicide. The term manic depression used to be common, but doctors shifted to the word bipolar disorder to better describe these two poles of mood. Here's the overview. Bipolar I equals sign at least one full manic episode, usually combined with depression. Bipolar II equals sign hypomanic episodes combined with severe depression. Cyclothymic disorder equals sign years of ups and downs that never reach full mania or full depression, but still cause chronic instability. And here's something essential. All three can seriously impact quality of life. None of them are less real. None of them are mild moodiness. Each requires understanding, compassion, and treatment. Chapter 2. Bipolar I. The high peaks. Let's start with Bipolar I, the most widely recognized form. Bipolar I is diagnosed when a person has experienced at least one manic episode. That's the key. Even if depression never occurs, a single manic episode is enough for the diagnosis. Symptoms of mania isn't just a being happy. In fact, many manic episodes are marked more by irritability than joy. Common symptoms include needing little to no sleep, yet feeling wired and energetic. Racing thoughts that jump from topic to topic. Talking so quickly others can't keep up. Taking huge risks, spending sprees, reckless driving, gambling, unsafe sex. Inflated sense of self. Believing you have special powers or are on a world-changing mission. Sometimes losing touch with reality, hallucinations or delusions. Impact. A manic episode can be devastating. Relationships can break under the strain. Jobs can be lost. Financial damage can last for years. And because insight is often impaired during mania, people don't always realize they're unwell. They may resist treatment or hospitalization. Case example. Imagine someone named Alex. Alex stays up 3 nights in a row, working on a business plan that doesn't quite make sense. He feels electric, like his ideas are genius. He spends thousands of dollars on supplies. He tells his family he's about to become the next big tech billionaire. Within days, he crashes into financial trouble, conflict, and eventually, depression. This is what mania can look like. It's not fun, it's not quirky, it's a serious medical condition. Treatment for Bipolar I often includes mood stabilizers like lithium, antipsychotic medication to manage severe mania, therapy to help recognize warning signs and rebuild after episodes, lifestyle stability, regular sleep, stress management routines, myth busting. One common myth is, mania is just being extra happy. The truth, mania is often chaotic, frightening, and even life-threatening. It can feel like your brain is speeding out of control. Chapter 3. Bipolar II. The hidden struggles. Now let's talk about Bipolar II. Definition. Bipolar II is defined by episodes of hypomania paired with major depression. Hypomania means less than mania. It shares many of the same features, but it's not as extreme. Symptoms of hypomania. In hypomania, a person might sleep less but still function, Feel unusually confident, energetic, or productive. Talk faster, feel more creative, or seem unusually social. At first, hypomania can feel positive. People may think they're just on a roll, but the crash usually comes. And when depression hits, it hits hard. The depressive episodes in Bipolar II tend to dominate the course of the illness. They often last longer, feel deeper, and are harder to treat than in Bipolar I. Depression in Bipolar II. The depressive episodes in Bipolar II tend to dominate the course of the illness. They often last longer, feel deeper, and are harder to treat than in Bipolar I. Symptoms include hopelessness and guilt, loss of interest in things once loved, difficulty concentrating or making decisions, sleep and appetite changes, thoughts of death or suicide. Case example: meet Sarah. Sarah feels unstoppable for a week. She finishes projects, stays out late, feels magnetic. Friends admire her energy. But then she falls into a depressive episode so deep she can barely get out of bed. Her productivity, her joy, her hope, gone. This cycle repeats again and again. Bipolar II treatment can be tricky. Antidepressants must be used carefully because they can trigger hypomania. Mood stabilizers are critical. Therapy is often the anchor. Myth busting. The myth: Bipolar II is less serious. The truth: the depression in Bipolar II is often more dangerous because suicide risk is high. It is not mild at all. Chapter 4: Cyclothymic disorder, the subtle roller coaster. Definition: Cyclothymia is a chronic, long-term pattern of fluctuating moods, hypomanic symptoms and depressive symptoms that last for at least 2 years. But these ups and downs never quite reach the level of full mania or full depression. Symptoms: periods of elevated mood that don't meet full hypomania, periods of low mood that don't meet major depression, emotional instability that others may label as moody or sensitive. Symptoms present more days than not. Impact cyclothymia often goes undiagnosed. People may think it's just personality or stress or just the way I am, but the constant instability can harm relationships, careers, and self-esteem. Case example: take David. David has been described as unpredictable his whole life. Some days, he's lively, energetic, and full of ideas. Other days, he's withdrawn, pessimistic, and irritable. These shifts happen regularly, but never hit the extreme of hospitalization. Still, they cause confusion and strain in his friendships and work. Treatment focuses on stability. Therapy to help recognize patterns and triggers. Sometimes medication for mood stabilization. Routine and self-awareness are crucial. Myth-busting cyclothymia is just moodiness. Truth: it's a recognized mental health condition that needs attention. Chapter 5: Comparing all three. Now that we've explored each type, let's compare them side by side. Bipolar I requires at least one full manic episode. Depression is common but not required. Episodes can be extreme and dangerous. Bipolar II involves hypomania, less intense than mania, but must include major depressive episodes. Depression tends to dominate. Cyclothymic disorder involves chronic fluctuations between hypomanic and depressive symptoms, lasting at least 2 years, without ever reaching full criteria for mania or major depression. Everyday life impact Bipolar I. Chaos and instability often come from mania itself. Bipolar II. The burden comes more from depression. Cyclothymia. The challenge is the long-term unpredictability. Misdiagnosis. Bipolar II is often mistaken for recurrent depression. Cyclothymia is often mistaken for personality quirks. Misdiagnosis delays treatment, sometimes for years. Why this matters. Correct diagnosis changes lives. It guides treatment. It helps people understand themselves. And it can mean the difference between struggling in silence and finally finding stability. Behind every diagnosis is a person, a family, a story. Bipolar disorder is not a weakness. It's not a character flaw. It's a medical condition that requires understanding, compassion, and care. People with bipolar conditions often show incredible resilience. They are artists, teachers, parents, innovators, community leaders. With the right treatment and support, they live full and meaningful lives. Coping strategies include routine, consistent sleep, meals, and activity, therapy, cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, dialectical behavior therapy, DBT, group support systems, family, friends, peer groups, self-awareness, tracking moods, recognizing early warning signs. When society understands, stigma decreases. And when stigma decreases, more people seek help. Let's recap. Bipolar I equals mania plus possible depression. Bipolar II equals hypomania plus depression. Cyclothymia equals years of milder ups and downs. Each type is real, each is serious, and each deserves recognition and respect. If you see yourself in these descriptions, know this: you are not alone. There is help, there is treatment, and there is hope. Thank you for spending this time with me, learning about bipolar disorder. Awareness is the first step toward change. If you found this helpful, please share it. Someone you know may need to hear this. Leave a comment about what surprised you most, and subscribe for more deep dive mental health content with Bipolar Dad. Because together, by talking openly, we can replace stigma with understanding.